into the universal teacher. Pain, a word we fear more than death, a force we try to hide from, deny, suppress, medicate, and escape. But pain shows no mercy. It comes for all of us, the rich and the poor, the strong and the weak, the hopeful and the broken. Why? Why must life hurt to teach? Why does growth demand discomfort? Why does meaning rise from misery? Today, we explore what the greatest minds in history understood. Pain is not the enemy. Pain is the instructor. Pain is the architect. You are the blueprint. This is the philosophy of turning suffering into strength. Pain is the teacher. Chapter 1. Pain is a message, not a monster. Pain has a purpose. Biological, psychological, philosophical. It is the body's alarm system. It's the mind's way of speaking when we refuse to listen. If you touch fire, you pull away. If your heart breaks, you learn boundaries. If you fail, you discover humility and the road ahead. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Pain isn't sent to stop you. It's sent to shape you. We are taught that comfort is the goal. Luxury is success. Happiness is ease. But in psychology, one truth repeats: no discomfort equals no development. No struggle equals no strength. Comfort protects your body, but pain builds your soul. Key principle number 1: pain equals information. Listen carefully. Let's look at a short story. The student who got cut, a young samurai in training, rushes into battle drills, sloppy and overconfident. A shallow cut across his arm, pain, stops him instantly. Not a mortal wound, but a lesson. The sword of pain cuts ego first. Chapter 2. The choice after suffering. Every wound leads to a moment of decision. It doesn't matter if the pain came from a heartbreak, a betrayal, a failure, or a loss you never thought you could survive, There is always a moment, a crossroads, where life asks a single question: do you break or do you build? Because the truth is brutal. When your heart shatters, the world does not pause for you to pick up the pieces. Your phone still buzzes. Your responsibilities still demand attention. The sun rises, even if you wish it wouldn't. Time is merciless. It keeps moving, even when you are stuck. When a person suffers a devastating loss, the world doesn't pause. Bills still come. Responsibilities remain. Time keeps moving. And in that moment, one path leads to despair, the other to evolution. Concept: post-traumatic growth. Psychologists have found that many of the world's most resilient individuals don't recover to who they were before their trauma. They become vastly stronger afterward. Life is not asking you to return to who you were. It is asking you to become someone new. Pain gives you the power to choose your future mindset. Key principle number 2. You don't get to choose the pain, but you damn sure choose the response. Chapter 3. Stoics turn trials into training. The Stoics did not merely endure suffering, they practiced it. While others prayed for the storm to pass, the Stoics trained to walk through the rain. Why? Because they understood a truth most people avoid. Because they believed what you fear controls you. They also believed that what you face frees you. They believed resilience is not something you find, it's something you forge. So they intentionally embraced discomfort, cold to toughen the body, hunger to discipline desire, hard labor to sharpen willpower, humility to destroy ego, failure to reduce fear of falling again. To us today, this might sound extreme. Why would anyone choose pain on purpose? Because they understood that avoiding pain only makes you more fragile. It's not the weight that breaks you, it's the weakness. Not for torture, but to build emotional calluses. Quote, Seneca, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Seneca, the fear of discomfort is almost always worse than the discomfort itself. The anticipation of loss hurts more than the loss. The fear of failure is more paralyzing than failure, and the fear of pain often hurts more than the pain. Today we call this stress inoculation training. Exposure to controlled adversity reduces future shock. Confidence grows. Anxiety loses power. Adversity becomes the teacher. Challenge becomes the gym. Convenience is the enemy of courage. Comfort kills ambition. Pain creates capacity. Modern story, the comeback athlete. An athlete tears his ACL. Doctors say his career is over. He refuses to give up. Physical therapy is agony. Every step is fire. Every stretch is torment. But each day he returns. Not because he enjoys suffering, but because he understands its purpose. Months later, he sprints again. Stronger, faster, more grateful. He didn't just rebuild his body, he rebuilt his spirit. We live in a time where comfort is everywhere. Food delivered in minutes, instant entertainment, climate control at the click of a button. Yet anxiety has never been higher. Depression has never been more common. Strength has never been more rare. Convenience is the enemy of courage. Comfort kills ambition. The softer your environment becomes, the softer you become. But pain creates capacity. Not because suffering is noble, but because overcoming it is. Key principle number 3. Do not avoid the struggle. Seek out the weights that strengthen you. Growth is not found in the places where you feel safe. Growth is found where you feel challenged. You do not build resilience by running from difficulty. You build resilience by doing hard things on purpose. Every day, choose at least one thing that scares you, one thing that stretches you, one thing that reminds you, you are here to be capable. Chapter 4. Pain reveals the truth. Comfort is a flattering mirror. It gives you the image you want to see, that you're strong, that you're disciplined, that you're loyal, that you're the hero of your own story. But comfort is a liar. Pressure is the real truth teller. Stress removes the costume. Pain strips away all illusions. Who you are when everything is easy is not who you truly are. Who you are when the storm hits, that is the truth. The entrepreneur who lost everything. A man starts a business with passion in his eyes. The early years are hard. He grinds. Late nights, early mornings, the hunger of ambition in every step. Then finally, success. Money flows in. Praise surrounds him. People want to know him. His ego grows as fast as his profits. He begins to believe the myth that he is unstoppable, untouchable, unbreakable. Then the world changes. The market crashes. Clients vanish. Creditors call. The empire falls apart brick by brick. And then comes the final betrayal. The friends who promised loyalty are suddenly nowhere to be found. What remains is not the man's success built, but the man pain reveals. He sees arrogance he didn't know he had. He sees flaws he ignored. But he also discovers something buried beneath the rubble. A quiet resilience. A determination no applause could ever give him. He rebuilds, slowly, intentionally, wisely. This time, success doesn't inflate him, it humbles him. He becomes a leader not celebrated for what he built, but respected for what he survived. Pain is the great revealer. It exposes your patience, how long you'll stand before you break. Your resilience, how many times you'll rise after falling. Your values, what you refuse to compromise. Your weaknesses, where you need to grow. Most people never discover their true character because they never step beyond comfort. But you who have felt the sting of failure, the burn of heartbreak, the fire of adversity, you have seen your real self. That is a gift. Better to see your demons in the light than pretend they don't exist in the dark. Comfort hides your flaws. Pain highlights your potential. Key, principle number 4. Pain doesn't change who you are. Pain reveals who you've been all along. In the story of your life, the chapter that hurts the most is the chapter that teaches the most. It is the part where you stop pretending and start becoming. Chapter 5. Where the darkness hides the gold, Carl Jung once revealed a truth that shakes the soul. There is no light without shadow, the parts of yourself you avoid. The shame you bury, the fear you deny, the wounds you hide, those are the very places where your greatest strength is waiting. We are taught to chase comfort, success, applause, but greatness is not found in the spotlight. It is discovered in the moments you thought would break you, because your deepest strength is buried beneath your deepest wound. Story: the athlete who lost her identity. She was the fastest sprinter in her school. Every breath she took, running. Every heartbeat, competition. She tied her worth to the stopwatch. Her identity was the lane beneath her feet. Then one race changed everything. A pop, a collapse, a scream drowned under stadium noise. Doctors delivered the verdict: your career is over. Just like that, her future vanished. The applause stopped. She fell into a darkness deeper than physical injury, the pain of not knowing who you are anymore. She wasn't just dealing with a broken body, but a broken purpose. But sometimes when the dream dies, the dreamer awakens. In her grief, she noticed something she had ignored in the chase for medals. She loved the mental side of sport, the psychology, the resilience, the comeback stories. So she studied. She learned how the brain adapts, how champions think, how pain becomes performance fuel. She began coaching adaptive athletes, people who had lost limbs, lost mobility, lost what the world calls ability. Yet inside them, she saw flames of potential. Every athlete she helped her rebuild herself. What she lost became the light she offers others. Her wound became her purpose became her legacy. Pain did not destroy her path. Pain revealed the real one. There is a psychological name for this: meaning-making, the ability to turn suffering into significance. Not all pain is equal, but all pain can be used. The trauma you never wanted may become the foundation for a life that matters more than the one you planned. Scar symbolism. We are taught to hide scars. But scars are proof. You walked through fire. You bled and healed. You broke and rebuilt. You survived. They are not signs of weakness, but evidence of strength. Do not run from your darkness. Walk toward it with courage. For inside the fear you're avoiding is the treasure you were designed to protect. Your greatness is not found where you are comfortable. Your greatness is found where you are hurt. Key principle number 5. The darkness you fear contains the treasure you seek. To transform pain into purpose, you must first be willing to descend into the shadows and discover what is hidden there. Do not bury your wounds, harvest them. They are not the end of your story. They are the chapter where your true strength begins. Chapter 6. Your brain learns through hardship. There's a truth that both ancient warriors and modern neuroscientists agree on. Pain doesn't just change your mind. It physically rewires your brain. Every challenge, every heartbreak, every anxiety-inducing moment is literally shaping new neural connections. There's a name for this miracle: neuroplasticity. The brain is not a fixed machine. It is a living, adaptive organism. When life pushes you into discomfort, new pathways form through struggle. Your brain learns how to respond better next time. Emotional stability improves. What once triggered panic now feels manageable. Memory strengthens. Lessons carved through pain are unforgettable. Focus sharpens. Survival mode teaches clarity. Fear tolerance rises. Comfort shrinks your courage. Adversity expands it. You are not the same person after suffering. You are not meant to be. Pain is the brain's demand that growth occurs. It forces evolution. It forces adaptation. It forces advancement. Struggle is the price the brain pays for becoming stronger. Psychological insight. Growth mindset. In moments of hardship, you have two choices. You can say, "I can't. I'm done. This is too much." Or you can say, "I can. I will. I must." Those three phrases trigger the brain's survival drive learning mode. It stops panicking and starts problem solving. The moment you decide to keep going is the moment the brain begins transforming. Comfort signals the brain, "We're safe, no need to improve." Pain signals the brain, "We must evolve." Let's look at this quick story. The fighter who refused to quit. A boxer is beaten badly in a fight. He loses in front of thousands, humiliated. He considers walking away. But he returns to the gym the next day, and the next. His trainer tells him, "You're not just learning how to punch, you're learning how to think in chaos." Every missed jab becomes memory. Every hit taken becomes resilience. Every step back becomes footwork improvement. Months later, he steps into the ring again. He isn't just stronger, he's smarter. He sees openings before they happen. He feels timing instead of forcing it. Not a bigger fighter, a better one. Pain doesn't send you backward. Pain pushes you forward into a version of yourself you could not access in comfort. It is not regression, it is renovation. Breaking down the weak structure so a stronger one can replace it. Key principle 6. Hard times are rebuilding you from the inside out. Every scar is a new circuit. Every struggle is a new skill. Every heartbreak is a rewiring of capabilities. You are getting stronger, smarter, more capable, more aware, more resilient, even if you can't see the changes yet. Because transformation happens internally long before it becomes visible externally. Your struggle is your brain evolving. Do not interrupt the process. Chapter 7. Accept reality, and it loses power. There is one Stoic skill so powerful it can dissolve suffering in an instant. Acceptance. Not the passive kind, not the defeated kind, not the kind where you pretend that pain doesn't hurt. This is a warrior's acceptance, clear-eyed, courageous, rooted in reality. Acceptance is not approval. Acceptance is acknowledgement. Acceptance is acknowledgement. It doesn't mean, I like this. It's fine. I'm happy this happened. It means, this is what happened. It cannot unhappen. So what will I do now? When you deny reality, your mind fights a battle it cannot win. You replay conversations that are over. You re-argue arguments already lost. You cling to versions of people who no longer exist. Pain arrives as a visitor. Resistance turns it into a prisoner. And the longer you resist, the longer it stays. Viktor Frankl. Proof of human power. Man was imprisoned in the darkest nightmare humanity has created. Auschwitz. He lost his freedom. He lost his family. He lost everything the world claims we need to survive. And yet, Viktor Frankl discovered a power that even death camps couldn't take. Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the freedom to choose one's attitude. When life strips away all control, the power you still hold is how you interpret what happens. Attitude isn't a feeling, it's a decision. Stoic plus psychology overlap. Pain becomes suffering only when we refuse to accept reality. There are two kinds of pain. 1, clean pain, the event, and 2, dirty pain, the story. Clean pain, the event, the breakup, the loss, the failure. Dirty pain, the story. I'll never love again. I'm worthless without them. This shouldn't have happened. You cannot escape clean pain. It is part of life. But dirty pain, we create that ourselves. Acceptance removes the dirt and leaves only the truth. Micro story. The broken dream a woman trains for years to enter her dream university. She gives her best, studied late, sacrificed sleep, built her identity on the hope of acceptance. She opens the email. Rejected. At first, devastation. Her heart insists, this shouldn't have happened. But then, acceptance. It happened. So what door does this open instead? She explores a new field, discovers a new passion, creates a new path she never knew she wanted, until the rejection forced her to see it. She did not choose the pain, but she chose what the pain meant. Stoic reframe. Acceptance doesn't make pain disappear. It removes the suffering attached to it. It turns, why me? Why not me? This is unfair. This is reality. I hate this. I'll use this. Acceptance is ownership. Acceptance is power. Because once you accept the moment you are in, you can finally take control of the moment that comes next. Key principle number 7. Pain becomes suffering when you refuse to accept reality. Clarity frees you. Honesty strengthens you. Acceptance allows you to rise. The Stoics believed we only lose when we refuse to face the truth. Once you accept what happened, life stops happening to you and begins happening through you. Chapter 8. Release the story that hurts you. You survived the event, but are you still living inside it? Many carry heartbreak like a tattoo on their chest. They wear betrayal like a name tag. They hold past pain like an identity card. It feels safe because it's familiar. But familiar does not mean healthy. Letting go is not forgetting. Letting go is freeing both hands so you can climb forward. Psychological insight. Rumination loop. The mind repeats painful memories to protect you from future danger, but it often traps you in yesterday's wounds. Let's look at a short story, The Betrayed Friend. A friend is cheated on. It hurts. Trust evaporates. They swear never to love again. Years later, they meet someone genuine, but their heart remains locked in past prison. Fear replaces opportunity. Pain replaces presence. If you lock the door to avoid monsters, you also lock out meaning. Key principle number 8. Do not let yesterday's pain steal tomorrow's joy. Chapter 9. Suffering is human and connecting. Pain often feels like isolation, but in truth, it is the one experience we all share. Every person you envy has cried in the dark. Every person you admire has scars beneath their armor. Every warrior they was once on their knees. Stoicism reminds us, pain is not your curse, it is your connection to humanity. Your struggle doesn't make you different, it makes you real. Key principle 9. What you feel in silence is what makes you part of the world. Chapter 10. Become unshakable. Strength is not the absence of pain. Strength is the resistance to breaking. True warriors are not painless. They are unshaken. A sword forged in fire, hammered, folded, sharpened, strengthened. Pain is the anvil of greatness. Every scar, a badge. Every failure, a teacher. Every heartbreak, a rebirth. Life does not get easier. You get stronger. Key principle number 10. Do not avoid pain. Become someone it cannot destroy. Conclusion. Pain was the lesson you needed. One day you will say, I'm glad this happened to me. Not because the pain was good, but because you became good through it. You will honor the hardest chapters of your life, because those were the pages where your character was written. Pain will no longer feel like a curse, but like a calling. Pain doesn't take your life from you. Pain gives your life to you. Walk forward, head high, scars visible, heart unafraid. You are no longer running from the fire. You are walking through it, becoming something stronger than the flame can destroy. For this is MindXReactors, where purpose is forged, where warriors rise, where pain becomes power. Subscribe and join this legion of resilient minds. Stand with those who refuse to be defeated. This is where suffering becomes strength, where growth is mandatory.